What's up, guys? Welcome to 10 Really Creepy True Stories. This is by Mr. Nightmare, and well, I wanna see or hear your guys' reaction about this, and I'll see what you think of this type of video and what type of fear have you had in life. Like, have you had nightmares about this type of stuff? Or have you ever seen like things go around you, like shadows, something like that? But, well, here we go.
I moved to my dad's when I was 10, and I didn't know anyone in the area except for the family my dad was friends with, a single mom with 3 kids. Luckily, there was a girl a couple of years older than me. She was 12 at the time I met her, and we got to know each other a little over a couple of years. We weren't close, but we ended up having the same friends. One night my friend Rob was hanging out with her and her younger brother.
Oh my.
They happened to be in the house alone because my friend's mom was at work.
Okay.
Her mother has been helping this one lady through her work and got to know her fairly well.
Okay.
She found out her sister was in a mental institution and was let out recently.
No.
The night Rob is hanging out with my friend, they get a knock on the door.
Oh jeez.
My friend thought it was just their mom, since she knocks a certain way when coming in.
Okay.
And he answered it without thinking.
Oh no.
Rob wasn't supposed to be there, and he took off through the window to his house down the road. He never thought twice about it. It wasn't her mom. It was the sister of the lady her mom was helping, and she figured out through talking to her sister where her family lived and her mom's working schedule. She came in. This is where I don't know the details, and I'm glad I don't. My friend's younger brother got away to the neighbor's house to call the police. The lady brutally murdered my friend a week from Christmas, decapitated her, and left her body naked in a bathtub.
Oh no.
She even hid her head. They had to look through the presents, and I don't know where they found it, but they did. I wasn't allowed to go to her funeral.
Wait. Y'all, do you know how mad I'd be if some lady had brutally murdered my friend and I wasn't allowed to go to her funeral? Do you know how mad I would be right now? I'd be like super duper mad, super duper pissed right now. That's just wrong. Why would you do that? A mental institution and she was let out. Then a friend goes to hang out with her, the little girl that was 12 years old. They got a knock on the door. It was a lady. So apparently he took off through the window to his house, which means he went home. And I'm assuming she was the only one in the house alone, but the lady had came in and apparently killed her and decapitated her. So that's just wow. That's really sad.
It happened to my wife's grandmother about 15 years ago while we were still dating. Her husband had just passed away about a year previously, but she'd been going down to the library and volunteering. It was exercise and socialization. This was in the winter, so her walk back was while it was getting dark. The library closed at 5, and there was some extra stuff to do before everyone actually left. And on this particular night, she turned down a ride from another volunteer because she needed to stay in shape.
Okay.
The house is about a mile away through some lightly wooded area in South Texas, and as she's about halfway home, she notices someone behind her.
Whoa.
He's walking the same direction and gaining on her, which in itself isn't all that particular. She's old and thus not particularly fast, but in this case he seems vaguely sinister. They keep walking. Pretty soon he's right behind her. Then he falls into pace, just staying behind her. Now she knows something's up.
Yep.
But she's almost home. She can see the top of her driveway coming up.
If I can hear footsteps, if I'm like walking and if I notice or hear footsteps behind me, something is going down. Like, I don't know what you're doing, I don't know what you want, but stop. That's creeping up on me, and that's not cool. Something's about to go down.
She leaves her lights on so it'll look like someone's home when she's walking in. She just needs to make it another 150 yards. Then 100. All that time, she said he was so close that she could feel his breath on her neck.
Okay, wait. Let me say this. I'm sorry if I'm pausing too much, but she said that she can feel his breath on her neck. Feel his breath on her neck. Does that mean that he has the hot Cheeto breath now? He has the hot breath now? Because that's what I'm thinking. He has the hot breath, which means he probably hasn't brushed his teeth for like 10 days. And that's pretty much disgusting. So I'm assuming he put the hot breath on her neck. That's why she said she's so close. He's so close that she can feel his breath on her neck. That's creepy.
Around maybe 50 yards, it happens. A strong hand on her shoulder.
Ooh.
Okay, bitch, don't turn around and hand over your purse or I'll cut you. She stops for a second, then takes one big step forward, turns, and shoots the guy in the neck with the third.
That's what you get for calling her the B word. That's what you get for calling her the B word. Creeping up on her, the hot breath and all that. Yep.
38 she keeps in her purse.
Wow.
The guy spent the next 5 years in a prison hospital before he died of complications. My wife's grandmother passed last year, but up to the end, she lamented that she pulled the trigger too soon.
Pulled the trigger too soon? What do you mean, pull the trigger too soon? Well, man, please. You ain't really know nothing. Pull the trigger too soon? Wow. He said 5 years in prison hospital. And you're over here relenting, talking about you pulled the trigger too soon. Wow. That's not very relentive at all.
When I was young, I'd say 8 to 11-ish, my sister, whom is 7 years older, would babysit when my parents were out. At the time, she smoked a lot, and my parents made her smoke outside, of course.
Okay.
So I'd follow her outside, play around, annoy her and such. One day, my sister notices a car at the end of the driveway, just sitting in the road. It's a white SUV with a bike rack on top. It has the most tinted windows I've ever seen. You could not see inside from the side. It sat there until she went inside, then would drive to the end of the road and sit at the church parking lot and wait. Wait until she'd come out again for another smoke. And it would repeat this. Odd, but my sister is a brave lady and just kind of ignored it. That is, until the next day while my parents were out again, and it showed up again. It would sit at the end of the driveway and just watch. I don't know what the driver was doing, but he was watching my sister. I know, because if I didn't go out, I'd watch from the front window and it would just sit there and watch my sister. She told my father, who was a sheriff deputy at the time, and he called the cops and made a complaint. They showed up, looked around, but the SUV was nowhere to be seen. Months went by and nothing. Then one day, a good 9 months after this had all started and around 4 months since the last sighting, it was back. It became a regular occurrence. Another day, my sister was outside doing her nasty habit, and sure enough, here it comes. This time we were all alone as usual, and she decides she has had enough. She tells me to stay in the carport, and she's gonna go confront them.
What are you still coming back for? What are you still coming back for? What the freak? What the freak? What are you doing? What do you want? What do you want? What are you coming back for? What are you repeating this for? You're over here staring at her smoking. What do you want, man?
She starts walking toward the SUV, and halfway down the driveway, she would later remark to us, I felt utter terror, like I knew if I went any further, I was dead. I was paralyzed by pure fear. She turned around and went inside. Finally, the family car was in the shop for some kind of issue, so we were all stuck home for the night. While my parents are home, my sister goes outside to smoke. I go outside with her, and eventually the SUV shows up. She tells me to run inside and tell my father, and I do. My dad promptly gets his gun and starts briskly walking down the driveway with it in hand, in the direction of the SUV, but not leveled towards it. The SUV floored it down the road and peeled out onto the nearby large highway.
Now you wanna
My
leave.
dad, being a cop, noted the year and model and distinguishing features. The scariest thing, the license plate had been covered in duct tape. We never saw it again.
Finally, that little creep is gone. Finally. For the whole stupid reason. Like, what are you coming back for?
I was just 4 or 5 years.
Well, actually, you know what? I know this was pretty awkward, but I'm gonna have to end it right here. But next time when we do this, I will do another video part on this. I think this is part 6 or 7. No, this is 7. This is 7. This is the 7th one. I think. Yeah, this is. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will do another part next time, either tomorrow or the next day. So, yeah, I will see you all very next time. Love you all, and have a nice day.